Hey folks, Larry's with us. Larry, you've got a little bit of some feedback going on. I don't know what that's about. It just started. Larry's here. This is okay. Um, this it. Oh, I thought I had that sound turned off. Sorry. Um, Larry's with us. This is Monday, January 20th already, 2020, and this is Martin Luther King's birthday. Celebrate. Well, it was actually a few days ago, but the legal holiday is today. And I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen anything dangerous yet so far in Virginia, so I'm thanking God for that. There's been a lot of prayer gone up for that event. So if anybody's heard anything more recent about any danger, you can certainly let us know. All right, Larry, we got 13 people listed and they're coming in little by little.
All right. Well, folks, I'm proud to say that today is Martin Luther King's birthday. As Maryland used to make it celebrated. For those that don't remember, this is also the day we used to celebrate Robert E. Lee's birthday. Robert E. Lee got knocked out of the box because he wasn't politically correct. So, chalk another one up to the liberals, getting rid of our history. While we're waiting for people to get here, and I don't know how many people will get here since it is a holiday.
We've got 42 now.
All right. An interesting thing is developing on the Democratic side in the primary. Now, no, it's not the feud between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. It's not that. It is the Project Veritas hidden camera where they caught someone in Bernie Sanders' organization saying that if the Democrats do not allow Sanders to win, that there would be trouble. That they plan for there to be trouble. Now, folks, let me assure you, the Democratic National Committee is not, I repeat, is not going to let Bernie Sanders be their nominee for president. They're not.
Why?
Well, for several reasons. But the main reason is they don't believe he can be elected president. That he is too far over towards communism. They know that the American people, even with the bit that we seem to be showing going liberal, maybe even some would say moving towards a socialist type agenda, that they're smart enough to know that you would never muster up enough votes for us to be a full-throated communist country, and that's what Bernie Sanders promotes and hears. They're not going to let him get it. They will not. So now, if they're not going to let him get it on, then we have to rely on that person in his organization. Will they come through and do what he says they're planning? Now, it's bad enough, folks, that they're planning trouble, violence. But there's something else he says that coincides with Bernie Sanders and that AOC, whatever her name is. He talks about gulags. Now, he says gulags are not a bad thing. They're not that bad. But what he calls re-education camps. Re-education camps. So for the first time, we got the other side admitting that they intend to re-educate the American people to this new way. What do you think about that?
Well, when I heard, if you're asking me, when I heard it, I was pretty upset about that because, this is what a lot of the doomsday hoopla people have been talking about. And, it's just a repeat of World War II in Germany.
The people that historically have been talking about it have been talking about FEMA camps. FEMA camps. There are no plans for FEMA camps. What these people are talking about is something new. Something totally new. And it goes along with what happens when they take over our government. See, when they win, if they do, in November, and they get control of the Senate as well as the House, as well as the presidency, and they already have the judicial branch, they will move forward, as I have told you. First will come nationalization of the banks. Then they'll take our money from us. And then they'll start moving in on one thing after another, just fast, rapidly. They've got to do it rapidly. They don't want people to wake up and realize what's going on. So the plan is to make it happen so fast that when people finally wake up, it's too late. Now, at that point, when people wake up, if there are any dissidents that wake up and want to cause trouble, then you will be sent to these re-education camps. And there you will either get re-educated or you won't come out. You won't come out. It all starts in November. It all starts in November. You've got problems with the Sanders people after their primary. What are they going to do? But that won't have a major effect on the nation yet, other than tipping the hand of the Democrats and what their real agenda is. Maybe in a period such as that, people might, for the first time, actually get it. They might. I'm not saying they will. People have a real good tendency to have a blind eye to anything that they don't want to see. The DNC not letting Sanders be the nominee can be a good thing. Can be. And that it does give some then you take it to the court. They didn't do that. They did not do it. Remember, they said the urgency required that they just go on. But the president does not have the right to exert executive privilege. Then you may encroached on the president's power.
Then what?
Which is, you've encroached on the president's power, which is direct violation of separation of power. Separation of powers. Number one, and that's strong. Judiciously, that is a phenomenal defense, almost absolute. Absolute. But this is another problem, which will be brought out in the defense response. And that is Nancy Pelosi's own words. If you don't think the Senate trial has profound meaning, this next thing should help you understand what it does very much. You see, Nancy Pelosi, in one of her press conferences, one of her many press conferences, was asked, talking about Rosie chipping in, being she's fed up with all of this. She was asked, what about your proof? What about the proof that the Republicans keep saying you don't have? And she said these words, I'm paraphrasing, it's not about proof. It's about allegations. It's not about
Oops, you're breaking up, Larry.
allegations. Now, folks, if they pull this off, one of the most foundational principles of law in America is going to be redefined. This trial will become a precedent-setting case. Precedent-setting case.
For any trial, right?
Sorry, what?
A precedent for any trial?
It will be cited time and time again in case after case after case all over the country.
I mean, how does anybody get justice, Larry? How in the world would anybody get justice if they can cite allegations being enough?
If you're telling this point, you don't.
Exactly.
You don't. Now, this form of judicial management done all over the world right now. It's done in every communist country. It's done in every socialist country. In every country controlled by a dictator. That's what they do. It's what they use. It's what they use. They don't like you. If you become a dissident, if you become a problem, they get somebody to make an allegation, you're toast. You're toast. You see, in this country, the thing that set us apart from all others was here. You're innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. But if they win, it will set a precedent to where every day, somewhere, somebody that was probably simply bucked the system will be prosecuted, not for a crime to which they committed, but for a crime to which somebody alleged they committed. You can't win. If that's the standard, you can't than it is to say it applies to us. We're not president. We're not that powerful. If somebody as powerful as a president falls to the standard, then obviously the least of us can fall as well. There's so much going on with the Senate trial that people don't even know. That quite honestly has actually very little to do with the Senate trial. The canons of evidence, the standards of the impeachment trial portion by the Senate is being defiled every day now. Every day. You don't see it, but I do. In the capacity in which I'm involved, I see it. Mitch McConnell, to even consider witnesses for the prosecution totally destroys the constitutional process of the Senate trial. The House is through. It's over. The House has no say, supposedly. None. But yet, they're still playing. They're still putting demands out there. And then you've got Schumer taking those demands and presenting them as a senator, minority leader. It's the same difference. The case is supposed to be built by the time it reaches the Senate. The Senate is not supposed to allow evidence to be brought in. The Senate is not supposed to bring witnesses in. They're not. Yet McConnell's considering it. Then you've got creeds like Ted Cruz and others using the cover, that's all it is, just the cover of saying, well, it's better for the president to be found innocent than for the case to be just thrown out. And the case is thrown out, but that's not the same thing as him being found innocent. Now, there's merit to what he says. In a perfect world, yes, there is. The president cannot take the chance of a trial that violates the rule set forth constitutionally for the Senate. The risk is far too great. This trial needs to be shut down. It needs to be shut down now. Yes, if it is, the Democrats, they're going to claim it's a cover-up. Yes. Let me give you a hot tip. A point I have made to where I'm almost hoarse to the powers that be. If you have the trial, you call all the witnesses you want to call. Everything's done the way the Democrats want, and he still is found innocent. You know what? They're still going to say it's a cover-up. They're going to claim all the Republicans who were scared. So they covered for the president. He's not going to win. He's not going to win that game. He's not going to come out of this with his name. He's not. All we have to do first decisions that has to be made to save the country. You must see to it that this trial ends soon. Soon. Now we found out today Maxine Waters and some 20 some odd other Democrats are ready to go with another impeachment the minute this one's over. Ready to file it. It's not going to end. We will not end. But that's for another day. That's for them. This day is ours. This day is for us. Based off what happens tomorrow, when everything is said and done, as we look at what McConnell does for real, and you will be given orders as to what you must do. And then folks, you gotta do it. You must do it. Now with that, let's go ahead and start getting questions in. If you have any, Mary Ellen, get them in because I may be called from the phone at any moment. Being as it's close to the opening of the trial. So
Yeah. Pam said that she's heard that the assistants in the White House are afraid of disagreeing with Trump. A couple people have asked if, no, Sharon has asked twice. Does the president know and have all the information that you have?
He has that and more.
James asked if
the person that said that it's passed around that people are afraid of, that is a lie. Chalk that up to 100% huge lie. Now, what James said, what?
if the Democrats seem to be imploding, will that mean they bring, I think the presidential candidates, will that mean they'll bring in Hillary?
Don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think Michael Bloomberg believes that something is subject to happen within the remaining candidates, and he might very well get the nod, he thinks. I think that's one of the reasons he's boasting he's going to put $2 billion into this thing.
That he thinks he'll get the nod for the presidency?
Yes. I think he's counting on a broker convention and it can go into him.
Well,
I know Bloomberg. I've known Bloomberg for years. I don't like him. Never have. He and I don't get along much. But he's no fool. He is not a fool. And I assure you, he's not taking $2 billion of his money and throwing it in just to meet Trump. Michael Bloomberg used that $2 billion for the end. Yeah.
Michael asks, why are Hillary and Obama hanging so low?
I think at this point, they don't want to get involved.
Somebody asked, why aren't Nunes and Jordan on the defense team when they know so much?
When Nunes and Jordan know they had passed on to the defense team. The defense team is made up of players that are much better at presenting this case than they would be. But I assure you, they are on call 24/7 if needed for anything. I know that for a fact.
Is it possible? Carolyn asked, can a patriot go through a long process to discuss constitutionality of this and make such a fuss like they do and tie them up until the election and get them busy with something else like they do to us?
No. No, because, Carolyn, they have us blocked. They control the mainstream media. So a patriot delving in the constitutionality in the wrong of what they do would never get 1 inch of mention in the news. And they also control the judicial branch. So a patriot prosecuting or trying to sue through the courts for constitutionality will never get past Rule 11. Never make it a day in court. The only good thing about the Senate trial, if it ends up in an elongated trial format, the only good thing would be the media, the mainstream, would have to cover it start to finish. And a lot of people would hear stuff for the first time through the mainstream media that otherwise they would never hear. But I assure you the media will spin it in such a way that it still looks bad for the president.
I'm sorry, I cannot turn Larry's volume up anymore. And Rosebud, Rosebud's asking if you know oh shoot, it just scrolled up because somebody else added something other. Give me a second, I gotta find out what she said. David Goldberg, did you know him? Friends of David Goldberg channel, do you know anything about him?
No.
Okay. Brett asks, hasn't Mitch McConnell already betrayed the president by letting it get this far?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Why hasn't he revealed what a farce this is?
What?
Why hasn't he revealed what a farce this is?
Look, McConnell, you can't trust. Here we are on the eve of the trial. And the president's defense attorneys, the management team, even they are not sure what McConnell's going to do tomorrow. That's what's so unnerving. But there's nothing we can do about it. We have to sit back and wait until he makes his move. Then we will be forced to make ours. Whatever.
Do you think the president will be able to exonerate himself?
I think the president will be able to exonerate himself. Yes, but no. Yes, he could exonerate himself. He's exonerated on its face. On its face, he's exonerated. But you tell me himself when, even on its face, he's exonerated by virtue of the fact of the simple thing. Let's just call it simple. They're not listing any crimes in the articles of impeachment. No crimes, zero crimes. Yet we're still going forward. How is that possible?
Somebody's asking if Mark Levin was considered for part of the defense team.
He was not. He was not on the. He was not in the top 20 proposed members. Now, I'm not going to say they don't think a lot of him. I'm not saying they don't think a lot of his legal knowledge. But he did not, apparently, my opinion, he did not fit the team concept that they wish to go forward with in the defense of the president.
John Doe, if you knew what was happening behind the scenes, you would not say that we are just a bunch of chicken littles crying the sky is falling and we don't need to worry because we're going to win. You would not be saying that if you knew what was happening behind the scenes.
Well, I would like to know, John Doe, based off what do you make such statements? I'd really like to know. Tell me or tell us who you have convened with that can give you that kind of information. Or is it just something you figured in your own mind? And I'll be damned if I'm going to let any of you call me Chicken Little. You know, I live at 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas. I do not hide. I give my address out. I'm sitting right now, but I'm you. Anybody wants to come and check out my Chicken Little status, just you're welcome to come on. And I ain't Joe Biden.
Okay.
I hardly find knowing the truth. I hardly find knowing the truth is being some sort of giving up. If you don't know the truth, how in the hell do you know where to fight, how to fight, who to fight, when to fight? How is it possible if you don't know the truth?
People are sticking up for you, asking if this guy's a Democrat plant, saying he's Chicken Little himself because he won't use his real name. And let's see, there was another one that was funny. Suggesting he probably wears a skirt. Big Brother says if Pam Bondi and Alan Dershowitz were picked as Trump's best fighters, whoever created the list of candidates was rigging the system against the president before the hearing.
Well, Dershowitz is there. Dershowitz is a self-professed Democrat, but he is a professor of law. And he stands with the president 100% in this matter, and he does carry weight. Pam Bondi, I don't know about her. I didn't choose him, so I don't
Huffman asked about the pens looking like bullets that Nancy used to sign. I mean, it was what a showpiece she did, bringing out these gold pens with her gold embossed name on a silver platter. She's making such a ceremonial celebration of this fiasco.
She is certainly making this all about her. And she's very proud of what she's done, such as with the pens with her name on it. Now, why would you put, when people are signing the roll, attesting that they would judge this thing fairly, which was a lie? They all know what they're going to do. Why would you have them take pens that have Nancy Pelosi on them? Why not? You would think the pens would say impeachment trial or something about the event, not her name.
Yeah. Do you know if the president is expected to attend some upcoming international conference?
Yes, in Davos. Yes.
Going to Davos, okay. Oh man. Shoot. I'm trying to scroll through this and I'm going up and down and back and forth. Somebody said that Bloomberg was in Madrid with Nancy Pelosi and other elites in December.
Could have been. I do not know.
Paul says you deserve a Nobel Prize and a Medal of Freedom for all your work. God bless you.
Thank you. I don't deserve anything. All I'm trying to do, folks, is help us save the country. The same thing each and every one of you are doing.
Somebody observed that the president's defense team was created out of TV personalities. That makes him a great line of defense. But where are the fighters like Nunes, Jordan, and Radcliffe? Well, I mean, Jordan, Jay Sekulow, and Rudy Giuliani are certainly fighters.
Yeah, once again, I can assure you, his defense team will be formidable. Will be formidable.
Somebody asked, why hasn't the president filed a case on separation of powers with the Supreme Court? Well, he doesn't file directly with the Supreme Court, first of all, but why should it be up to him to file for separation of powers?
Well, all of that may come post the trial. But right now, what must be done is the trial. Now, should events in the trial make rise to take it to the court, then it will go.
Okay. Somebody's wondering if Pam Bondi is a deep state insert. I mean, she's certainly been very Republican, but is she Rhino or not? I don't know.
I don't doubt her loyalty at all. You know, my not knowing why she's on the team has nothing to do with her loyalty. You know, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know what skill set she possesses that would make her, valuable to the team. I just don't.
Yeah, Florida Attorney General Has the president been informed about the last two caravans in Mexico from Central America? Are they going to change anything on the front line to protect the border?
My knowledge is informed, he's been kept abreast, and last I dealt with it, Guatemala and Mexico are both cooperating in trying to shut down the caravans. That's all I know. And I have not, obviously I haven't been involved in it in weeks.
Yeah. John asked, why don't the Republicans push for the federal rules of evidence at the impeachment trial?
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah. And here again, this is one of those contingencies. At this point, we don't know what the rules are going to be. That's what McConnell will announce, I suppose, tomorrow. Now, at that point, motions are setting ready to call for the rules of conduct of the court, but we don't want those to have to be used.
Somebody asked why there haven't been arrests of FBI folks over FISA.
That I assure you, unless I have been lied to, and that's possible. But at this point, I still firmly believe indictments are coming.
And I know you've been too busy to.
As we have talked on this program over and over and over, I believe the indictments are coming. The timing is the issue, and Barr picks the timing.
And you have, somebody was asking if he was deep state. You have said that so far he seems to be definitely working hard for us to do the right thing.
Yes, he is. He's in both. From what I have seen, they're very much doing right. But what's frustrating to many of you is he is also following the letter of the law, unlike those before him that use their position just to further leak stuff to the media and cause trouble for people. He's not doing that.
So somebody, watcher, really seems to like Larry Klayman. And I typed that he isn't what he seems unless he changed his spots.
I have nothing bad to say about Larry Klayman, as long as he stays the course and does what he's claiming he's doing, and to my knowledge, he is.
Any tea leaves happening in the markets forecasting the outcome of the impeachment, or is it too early for that?
Do what?
Are there tea leaves happening in the market forecasting the outcome of the impeachment, or is it too early for that?
Well, there are all kinds of forecasts. There's all kinds of predictions. Yet I assure you, until tomorrow, when Mitch McConnell responds, nobody knows. You can't
Paul asks, why is all the heat on Trump, but the Democrats don't seem to be facing any trouble?
That's a good question. That's the power that they have achieved after all of these years of us not paying attention and ending up with the government that we have today, which by all standards of measurement, one would have to call tyrannical. They control the media. They control the courts. So they're very well protected. That's what we're trying to change in November.
Three more questions just came in. Why has so little been done by Barr to force the FBI to come up with documents buried by the FBI in Flynn's case?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
Are the Democrats and bankers circumventing an economic collapse? You told us that they already have told the industrial investors to wait until 2 months before the election to crash it.
You know, what you're speaking of is they have planned with the institutional buyers. Institutional buyers, these are the people that they get together in what's called the war room, and they can literally buy up or down the entire stock market. And it is in the playbook, it's in the plan 2 to 3 months prior to the actual election. If Trump's up and winning, they're going to crash the market and take the economy away from him as being a strong selling point. And yes, they have the power to do that.
How much more treason do they have to commit, the Democrats, before they can be arrested?
Well, it's not a matter of how much more treason they have to commit before they can be arrested. It's who's going to arrest them. Who are going to call to arrest them? As long as they do things under the protection of members of Congress, they're untouchable for the best part.
What happened to the constitutional sheriffs that are supposed to go after politicians that infringe on our rights? Asked Francine.
Most of them don't know the powers they have. And the ones that do know don't have a legal system they can get into to adjudicate their cases.
Somebody asked, why is there such a big connection between the Democrats and corrupt Ukraine? But don't forget, Mitt Romney's son is in on it too.
Mm-hmm. But there's a deep connection with the quid pro quo type stuff with every foreign aid package we have anywhere in the world. The Democrats are in on a lot of it, the Republicans are in a lot of it. That's why they don't want it illegal. That's their cash cow. That's how they become millionaires. What else?
This is Big Brother. I got to check the grammar. Hang on. Why has Barr been so invisible in every situation that the DOJ has attacked the president politically? Is he using fairness and impartiality as a cover to leave the president exposed.
No, he is using the proper standard of law. When you're investigating someone, it is not supposed to be known until such time as you indict. That way, if you investigate somebody and it turns out that they're clean, you did not destroy them just with the allegation. He's being very careful to not destroy innocent people. And we should commend him for that, not chastise him. What else you got?
That's somebody asked something about Virginia being a trap, but I haven't seen anything dangerous happening so far from what I've been seeing.
No, and I hope it goes without trouble. I do. That can be a horrible scene if it goes bad. Where I'm yelled to be able to be heard before I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So I've got to back off.
Okay.
Hang on as long as I can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You will take the rest of the way, folks. Thank you, and be ready for tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks.
After tomorrow, we'll know what we have to do.
Right. Right. Thanks, Larry.
Okay?
Thank you.
And we got it.
Pam, your question, why would they want to crash the market? The whole plan is to hurt Trump and make sure he doesn't get reelected. So that's what that's about. So I forgot to put the banner up again. So let me get that up right now. I've heard a couple things. I've listened to some interesting things over the last weekend that I just thought I'd share with you guys. I got a text from somebody saying we need to call the president and ask him to call for a day of prayer and fasting. He has certainly asked multiple times that we pray for him. And I will suggest, I did hear somebody yesterday, Murillo. Is it Mario Murillo? I think it was. He was speaking at a church in Lancaster, California yesterday. I think he was the one that I heard saying we need to be spending some time fasting and praying for our president with this impeachment starting tomorrow. So I am going to ask any of you who have the ability to fast while you pray to do it, even if all you can do is give up certain foods and only eat vegetables, give up meat and fruit and grains and just eat vegetables for a day. Or thank you. POTUS text is 88022. That's a great thing to know. I didn't know that. Thanks, Paul, for suggesting that. That's at the bottom of what I wanted to talk about, some of the things. I was listening today to something that Lance Wallnau had on Saturday, and he was talking about the importance of words. He actually said it was Daniel's words, Daniel's prayer, Daniel's words that brought the angel Gabriel to speak to him. And of course, he couldn't get past the Prince of Persia and had to have Michael the Archangel come to help him battle through. And to get back to heaven, he was going to have that same battle. Lance Wallnau said that, so the importance of our words, the importance of what we say. So I'm going to say to this guy who's put up this very nasty name that would you please change your name And because words are important, and I don't appreciate that kind of nastiness being on our chat. Lance said that we are the ones who are responsible for saving our president. It's up to us, that we have to do something. Over the weekend, I listened to something that had happened. I don't remember when it first came out. I saw when it first came out, but I didn't watch it till last night and this morning. Sid Roth had 20 prophets on giving their word for 2020. I'm not, suggesting you go watch it necessarily, but what I was going to say was it was amazing how many of them spoke about the importance of our words, spoke about the importance of what we have to say and what we should do this year. And so that was the key thing, because Lance Wallnau was talking about the year 5780 for the Jewish calendar and 2020 for the Gregorian calendar. Both of them, when you put them in, Hebrew, the Hebrew alphabet also represents numbers. And so when you take the number 5780, you take the number 2020, both of them mean words and your voice. So the importance of using our voice this year. Lance Wallnau had talked about Kim Clement's prophecy that Trump would not be impeached. Well, he has been impeached now. So it's up to us. And Lance Wallnau had said the last speech I'd heard him give was that, he will be thrown out if we don't do something. And it's not enough just to pray. We have got to do more. And, when I shared Larry's video on Facebook on Friday, I got this scathing comment back that, we weren't trusting God. And this one person talked and said that all she had to do was pray. God's got this. But I don't see anywhere in Scripture at all where it was just where God said, don't worry, don't do anything, I got this for you. Certainly there was the time when, was it Sennacherib or was it Syrians were surrounding the city? I think it was surrounding Jerusalem. And there were lepers that were outside the city. And they said, they said, hey, we're going to die here anyway, so we might as well go out to the camp and see if we can beg some food out there. And then they found that the camp was empty. So the angel had done that for them. But that wasn't because people were asking that to happen or God had promised to do that. That was a nice little surprise for them. So I just want to reiterate again the importance that we have to do something. So I'm going to suggest today two things. One is to call the president, 202-456-1111, and tell him you're supporting him. Tell him you're praying for him. And then call Mitch McConnell's office. The information about calling Mitch McConnell's in the description box here. It's on the website, nicholslive.com. Lance today was saying, on Saturday, he was saying that Satan wants to shut the window of mercy on our country and bring judgment, God's judgment and destruction on us, because he's all about destruction. And he also said that the world is watching to see if Trump's going to cave under this pressure. And then he, in contrast to what our country's doing to destroy our president, and the millennials here being so pro-socialism, he said, look at the youth in Tehran. They walked, when they were marching down the street, they refused to cross the Israeli and American flags, but went around. In Hong Kong, they're carrying Trump's picture. They're displaying the U.S. flag. They're singing our national anthem. Taipei, in a vote in the last few days throughout the Chinese Communist Party. So, the world is watching what we're doing. The world is watching what's happening here, and they are following many of the good things that are happening here. And we are setting the pace for the world. If we go down, the world's finished. So we really do have a responsibility to our families, to our children, for the sake of our grandchildren, even if you don't have either one yet, for your posterity, we need to be concerned enough to get involved. And then also with the bigger picture, think about the people all around the world. Can you guys stop the arguing, please? Man, that's a distraction. We need to think about all the people around the world that we are impacting by what we do. And so let's just be ready tomorrow, Larry, based on what McConnell does in the Senate tomorrow, will determine what our action will be. And Larry's going to give us something to do. My assumption would be we're going to make phone calls. He's going to tell us who to call and what to say. I would assume that's what's going to happen, but I don't know for sure. Now, somebody had asked for my phone number. Amanda, I think it was you. My phone number is in the description box under here. It's also on the donate page. I don't want to type it in today because of what's going on here, but it's in the description box. It is on the website under the donate page. So I don't know who's calling. So they'll have to try again or send a text. James, when you're talking about it seems like we're watching a movie, remember Adam Schiff is a screenwriter. He must be in his heyday expecting. I said to somebody today that I wondered if he's expecting an Oscar for his performance or for his screenplay. My goodness, the things that are going on are unbelievable. A early morning broadcast tomorrow. Not here. Larry's going to be too busy working. And he's been back to working 18 hours a day. Please remember Larry in prayer, what this is doing. And I know he comes here sounding good. You would not believe how hard it is for him to project himself. I guess that's all I have to say. If you can do anything to help Larry, we've had somebody who's been doing quite a bit recently, and we're just about out of the funds that she had offered to give. And we need another big donor to step up to help make up for the little bits that you and I can piece together. We need a lot more people giving little bits than we have in order to keep him alive. This is a mission that he needs to complete. And, he's depending on us because he can't be paid for what he does, because if he goes on any kind of government payroll, there are things that he can do without being paid that he would be limited against doing. He would be prohibited from doing many of the things that he's able to do. So that being said, Larry's PayPal account is the easiest and fastest way to get money to him. Nichols live at AOL.com. After the election, Sharon, Larry will hopefully we'll get, if we had wanted to get another book written before the election, I'm working on a couple, but not getting much done on them I'm doing my research right now. And I think you'll like what I'm coming out with about Larry. But it's going to be a while still before I get it done. And it depends on how busy I get with the move and the election. So, Larry will never stop fighting for our freedom, no matter what happens, including the election. I'm sure after the election, he will continue to do what he's always done. When election time runs around, he gets a little busier than other times. He will be happy to take a short break, I'm sure, and breathe a little better. Rosebud, what's going on? I haven't heard anything about February 2nd. Yes, that's 2222. That's great, but I haven't heard anything about that. So if you know something about that, please let us know. Yes, Aileen, I am. Thank you. Please do. I haven't seen anybody type anything in that they were going to give anything today and ask people to match. So if you can do something, please do. We had somebody who gave a matching gift at the end of last week, and that's all they can do for a while yet. So thanks, Zachary, thank you. Remember, if you have an issue with trying to donate through PayPal or, thanks, Brett, can somebody match that 40? If you don't want, Larry cannot take anything but cash in the mail. So if you need to use a check, you need to send that through me. And so you need to contact me to do that. And if you need any other idea for how to donate, whether it's Zelle, whether it's Western Union or something else, you need to contact me. I just put my number in there for you. So that's it for today. Thanks for being here. God bless you. Keep praying for the safety of the folks in Virginia. And thanks for anything and everything you've done for Larry. Yeah, we should all be so lucky as to hit the lottery for Larry. That would be incredible. But on the other hand, remember there is scripture that says that ill one gains bring a curse with it. So, and there are several people who have given their grocery money, so you are in good company, my dear. 2 minutes of prayer. That is a fabulous idea. 2/2/20, February 2nd at 2:00. So you got 2/2/2020. Spend 2 minutes in prayer at 2:00. And then we can do that around the world in each different time zone. Sounds like a great idea. So thank you. Appreciate your prayers. And thanks for letting me share what I did. I think I got through my whole list of what I wanted to. Oh no, somebody asked me about the divine restraining order. I forgot that. There's a man named Dr. Miles. I think his first name is Francis, Francis. I think it's Francis Miles. Miles is Myles. And he has a new book out, The Divine Restraining Order. And he talked to Sid Roth in the last couple days. It's just a recent video that came out, or at least it's the first time I saw it. I think it's a brand new book. Talking about going into the courts of heaven and asking for a divine restraining order. And when I heard that, boy, I started praying that along with him for a divine restraining order against all this nonsense going on in our Congress, against our president. I also asked for a divine restraining order against the violence that was predicted in Virginia. It is an incredible thing to do. I will recommend that Sid Roth video. So if you go to It's Supernatural or look up Sid Roth, and then plus Miles, Myles. I don't think it's got divine restraining order in the title. I think it's Sid Roth with Miles, I think is what, something like that. Anyhow, It's Supernatural or Sid Roth if you want to look it up on YouTube. And if you're interested in that, if you know anything about what's been said about the courts of heaven, this idea of the divine restraining order is phenomenal information and a great way to pray for warrior type prayer. And the stories he gives in the answers to prayer that have come so immediately with doing this were pretty amazing. I wouldn't doubt that if Trump goes down, war with Russia is on. I don't know, guys, if you guys have ever heard of Dimitri Duduman. He was a Romanian, and I have his map. It's packed right now, so otherwise I'd try and get it out and show you later this week, but it's packed away. He shows fires burning basically on all three coasts because of probably that kind of attack. Definitely New York and Los Angeles are on their hit list, and he said there were three, or I can't remember, I think it was three major cities, but he couldn't remember, what the third one was. So, Rose, but I realized you were talking about the leak project. But the idea at 2020 at 2 p.m. praying for 2 hours, that is a fabulous idea, and I'm going to go buy a calendar so I can write it down. I haven't bought one yet, so if anybody's got an extra calendar laying around, let me know before I run to the store and get one. I won't be going today. Thanks, guys, for being here. God bless you. We will talk tomorrow. Thanks for your patience with us. Bye.